What's up, guys? Johan, and this is going to be my first YouTube video, most likely. I'm a huge fan of basketball. I'm not a huge nerd though, but I do know some stuff, and today I want to make a tier list with you guys based on NBA's 75th anniversary team, where a couple of all-time NBA greats, like some former NBA players and some current NBA players, voted for 76 some way 76 best players of all time, and they made a list, and I'm gonna break this list into positions because I think it's just more fair. You shouldn't compare Damian Lillard with Will Chamberlain or whatsoever, because different positions, different roles, different everything. So yeah, I'll break down them into positions, and at the end of the video, if I'm not too lazy, I'm gonna make the full tier list of all the 76 players, but it will be just for you to check it, guys. I'm not gonna do it with you. And yeah, like this will be super subjective because even though you can get somewhere close to being objective, I don't think you can actually be. So I'm not gonna try to do that, even though I'm not gonna ignore some important facts or achievements or stat lines or impacts and stuff. I'm still going to be subjective. Another thing is that I've been watching NBA since 2011, so that's when I have the most knowledge about players from. I might be a bit biased, and I think that makes sense because when you watch a player like day by day or like game by game, you see their effect more on the game. So doesn't matter how much you tell me, like Walt Frazier, how great he was or how great impact he had on the game. I haven't seen it. Like I have seen his only one or two games and even highlights from there.
On the other hand, someone like Russell Westbrook, I watch him play like day by day, and I know how big of an impact he had on the game, even when they had a loss or when they had a blowout loss. So my ranking and my sayings might make more sense about him because I watch more of his games. Like it's just that simple, I think.
So yeah, don't be mad with that. Just my list. We can talk about ranking, and I genuinely am looking forward to knowing a bit more about some of the guys which I don't know a lot about. So yeah, with that being said, let's get going, right? Oh yeah, one last thing to say. For me, a tier is type of guys who are like MVP caliber player. You can build a franchise around him, and if you drop him in a team with no another superstar or like no necessarily all-star player, they get into conversation. Like not necessarily championship favorites or whatever, but they get into the talk, they get competitive and so on. So that's as for me, and these probably most guys who go in D for me will be who I don't know that much about. So from early years of NBA, or guys who I don't think deserved to be here, or better said, other guys deserved more than those guys to be here. Like in my opinion, obviously. So yeah, let's get going. I'm gonna shuffle, and we have Russell Westbrook. So obviously all-time great. If we talk about stat lines, one of the greatest stat lines ever. I think 3 consecutive seasons averaging triple double and like solid triple double, at least 25 10 10, right? Or even 30 10 10. So great stat lines, like MVP. He was the main figure of that OKC, even though he was not alone. Like even when he was alone, he did some stuff. So he's A for now. We'll see if he goes low A or high A or even high B. We'll see that. Damian Lillard. So they're pretty close, I would say. Just that what makes Russell Westbrook better overall player than Damian Lillard so far is that first of all he has MVP title, then he has gone to the NBA Finals, even though with KD and James Harden, but still he was like easily second option there, right? Yeah, just better season averages and better achievements and everything so far. But Damian Lillard has potential. Like, and why he is also in A? Is he in A? Or should I put him in B actually? Um, I'll put him in B, high B for now because at the end of his career maybe he goes higher. But yeah, he has some things to achieve before we put him in A. Like great scorer, great player, definitely deserves to be here. Maybe irreplaceable, but not as solid career as Westbrook yet. Next we have Steve Nash. So two-time MVP. great playmaker. He turned his team into fastest position team ever, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. Like maybe famous robberies about Kobe Bryant MVP and stuff, but he got MVP, right? And he became MVP, and we don't care if some people call it robbery or not because you don't have specific criterion for being MVP. Like Wilt didn't become MVP with 50 points, 25 rebounds per game. So yeah, two-time MVP, one of the best passers ever, just really good playmaker. Actually, this is hard for me, but I'll put him above Russell Westbrook because of aesthetics. Like I liked his game better than Westbrook, you know. Even though Westbrook was more dominant, but I think Nash had better impact on the game in Phoenix years at least. From Lakers, he wasn't so impactful. Then we have Jerry West, so one of the best scorers ever, only player in league history who became Finals MVP from the lost team. So that's great achievement and probably never repeat again. Top 10 or 15 scorers of all time, averaging 30 plus points per game like 3 or 4 times a season. So think he deserves to be A and think he goes does he go higher than these guys? Yeah, I mean Mr. Logo, you know. So yeah, I'll give him that. He can be there. John Stockton. So I'm gonna put him top of A for now because I think his record of most assists of all time is unbreakable, like 15k, and he has 3,000 assist gap with the next player, which is Chris Paul, I think. He wasn't only like a passer; he was great scorer as well. In clutch, he was getting more opportunities than Carmelo. He was more trusted, and one of the greatest duos ever, right? So yeah, he wasn't a champ or MVP, but he deserved to be a champ, and he would have been probably if not for Mike Jordan, and he just wasn't meant to be MVP, you know. But still, quite MVP caliber player. If you didn't have Carmelo on his team, maybe he would have been, you know. Walt Frazier. So, New York Knicks legend, 1 or 2 time NBA champ, never MVP, but he was pretty close, I think. His best season was, I think, averaging 21 points or 22 and 8 assists. So for his era, great. Huge part of the championship team. But I don't know, you see Damian Lillard kind of player. Like, I think if you put Damian Lillard in a team, he'll have more impact on it. But it may be because I don't know that much about Walt Frazier. So let me know about him, guys. Anyway, what do you think? Jason Kidd, another great passer, great mind, high IQ. Like he became a coach, pretty good coach by the way. And I don't know, all-time great, but I think yeah he was close to being an NBA champ. Like in New Jersey, I think he got a ring in Dallas, but he wasn't that big of part of it, in my opinion. So low A or high B? What do you think, guys? I'm gonna put him high B for now because I think there is some distance between him and all these guys. So for example, he goes closest to Steve Nash, but Nash was two-time MVP. I think he had more impact on the game. And yeah, just you watch Steve Nash's mixtape, you know what I'm talking about. Steph Curry. So first S, easy S, one of the best scorers ever, best three-point shooter ever, like by a margin. He'll be probably 1.5k above everyone else when he finishes his career, or even more. Yeah, like unanimous MVP, probably the only in NBA history so far, if I'm not mistaken. Four-time NBA champ. Yeah, just easy as. Wilkins. So I don't know much about this guy. Like actually, I don't know almost anything. So his name was Lenny Wilkins. He's one of the guys who I think are on this list because of being early legends, you know? Okay, like I'm checking, and he had pretty good stat lines, like having averaging 20 points, 8 assists over multiple seasons. But maybe there could have been better players on the list. You know what I mean? Career averages are 16 points, 7 assists. Either goes low C or yeah, I'll put him in D. Let me know what you guys think, like who have seen his games and so on. But like no disrespect. Gary Payton. So I think one of the most underrated point guards of all time. Definitely like easily the best defender in point guards. Really good scorer as well. Like best player on his team. championship team. Like they didn't win, but they were championship team. I'll put him here over John Stockton because he was one of the only guys like named the glove. Like he was only one of the only guys who gave Mike Jordan trouble because when he defended him, like they didn't make him defend Jordan in first 2 or 3 games of the finals because it would have been too much for him. Like he would have had more impact on the other end of the game. But when they put him against him, he gave him trouble for those 2 games and they won, you know. And then third game is just like sixth game is just history. You can watch The Last Dance and you'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, easy A tier for me, and for me, top of A for now. Next is Bob Cousy. So one of the first NBA legends, one of the best point guards ever. I don't know where to put him though, because his career averages are pretty good, like 18 points, 7 assists, and his career highs were like 22 points in a single season, and assist wise like 9.5. And he was MVP once, so pretty solid career. But I don't know where he goes. Like MVP, you know. So you can't put him lower than B if you're an MVP. Though where he goes in B, because probably better career than Dame Lillard so far. But I'm not sure where he goes with Jason Kidd. You know. I'll put him above Kidd because he was called Mr. Basketball and stuff like that. Next comes Dave Bink, Detroit Pistons legend. First time I hear about this guy. Honestly, pretty good career averages. Like over a span of 12 years, he averaged 20 points and 6 assists. And his career highs were 27 points. Like he's averaged 27 points twice, and then 7 assists. No, 7.8. So pretty good. He ran for MVP. He was Rookie of the Year stuff, but I think he's here mostly for being one of the earliest legends. So I'll put him in D. And just let me know what you guys think about him or how good he was. But for me, he's D. Then Nate Tiny Archibald, hell of a player. Most interesting fact about him, I think, is that still only player in NBA history who became the scoring champ and assist leader in a single season. So that's a crazy achievement, I think. I think he averaged 25 points and 11 assists or something, and that's crazy. Like that's an amazing NBA record. So he's definitely B for that. He could even make a point for A. If I knew a bit more about him, probably he could go for A. But I'm gonna put him in top of B for now. Next comes Chris Paul, another all-time great, of course. Crazy good point guard, another uncrowned king, you might call, because just like John Stockton, he got kind of unlucky with the not having a ring, and he was really close when he was in Houston. I think if he hadn't been injured, there could have been pretty good chance of them beating GSW and then beating Cavs in the finals. So I gotta give him that, but he was never an MVP, so he doesn't go here. I guess he just goes somewhere here, and I'll put him just here for now because he stays second on the all-time assist leaders, and he's still a great player. Probably, I think, first rejected trade in NBA history when they were trying to team him up with Kobe Bryant. NBA rejected that deal, so that talks about something, you know. But yeah, high B for now. Big O, Oscar Robertson. So he could make point for S. He could, you know. Just that he still had kind of the job on his team. So I'm not sure if he ever won MVP title, but he had first ever triple double averaging season, and it was really good. Like also like 30 10 10 or something. So one of the most dominant point guards by his time, and just a great player. NBA champ once or twice. He definitely goes in A. I just don't know where in A, because it would make a point if I put him over Westbrook, even though with better physics, right? So now I'm gonna put B over him. Yeah, I like this for now.
Here's my random fact number one. If you fold the paper 42 times, you'll reach the moon. How many times can you fold it?
Then Magic Johnson. So another easy S tier for me, and actually top of S tier for me. because arguably the best point guard ever, and from my list it looks so. Incredible impact on the game, probably the best rookie season ever because he became the only finals MVP as a rookie of NBA history, and he even played the center during those finals, scoring 40 points and getting 50 rebounds or so. So just a crazy impact and probably the most satisfying mixtapes to watch in NBA history. So top of face tire, best point guard in my opinion. Then next comes Isaiah Thomas, Detroit bad guys, two-time NBA champ, most likely Finals MVP. I don't remember necessarily. One of the best point guards ever, easily. He should have made Dream Team, but Michael Jordan hated him. But yeah, like that Detroit was something, and he was one of the best two-way players of his era, and great score and everything. So he's solid A. I'm gonna put him here. Yeah, I like that. Do I like this list? Yeah, I think I do. I'm gonna leave it like that. So yeah, let me know what you think about these guys. So next we have shooting guards. Oh yeah, let's say that we had 17 point guards on the list, and we have 15 shooting guards. And yeah, let's start. So we have Allen Iverson first. It's not so easy to rank him because his peak years were easy A or high A or lowest tier. But like his overall career, not so great. Just he still had an amazing impact on the game, like everlasting, and he made so many guys start basketball and enjoy the ball. So he definitely deserves to be A, an MVP, and close to winning finals as well. One of the greatest finals first game performances ever. So solid A, I would think. Next is Earl Morrow. What do we say about this guy? Let me check stat lines real quick. New York Knicks legend, 18 points, 4 assists averages like throughout his career. His highest was 25.8 points, which is solid. And then assist wise, he never surpassed 5. So solid career, but never MVP. One time NBA champ, I think. But I'll put him in C. You know, good career, deserves to be on this list most likely, but not like somewhere high on it. Dwayne Wade, amazing shooting guard. I think the leader in shots blocked by a shooting guard of all time. One of the best finals performances ever in 2006, averaging 35 points or something like that, carrying his team. Just overally great career, 3-time NBA champ, 5 times NBA Finals appearances. He never won an MVP, but he was Finals MVP and all that. So I don't know if he goes low A or high B. Let's put him in B for now, but he might move to A. Michael Jordan, no comment. S tier. If you don't agree, watch Last Dance and you'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, what's there to say? Just like best single, like standalone player ever. On the best winner mindset players. Just he stands above everybody else, you know. Okay, next is Sam Jones, Boston Celtics legend, 10-time NBA champ. That's crazy. I don't know that much about him, but he had like pretty good averages, you know. He had multiple seasons averaging over 20 points, like 26 being his highest. During his era, there was hell a lot. So honestly, I'm still gonna put him just top of C for the sake of 10 NBA rings. Like you can just get him off the list, but if not that, if not 10 NBA rings, he would have been somewhere else. Another thing to say, I think he was the most clutch player on his team. Like in the last seconds, they used to give him the ball, so he deserves to be on this list. Why not? Pistol Pete Maravich, so one of the best nicknames, in my opinion, ever. One of the best scorers, one of the best mixtapes, the most stylish players. His career averages were 24 points and 5 assists, but highest being 31 points and 7 assists. So 31 points and averaging more than 20 almost all his career. Like from 10 years, only 4 seasons when he couldn't average 20. So another legend. Like he played in Atlanta and New Jersey, New Orleans Jazz. So I think he goes B. Does he go higher than Wade? Debatable, but I'm not gonna put him above the Wade because no ring, no Finals MVP whatsoever. But maybe he was a better scorer, and probably he was. Next is Bill Sherman, Boston Celtics, another Boston legend. First time I hear about him, Nothing extraordinary. Okay, multiple seasons averaging over 20, but barely. Nothing else worth mentioning from what I know. So I'm gonna put him here because like first years of NBA, maybe was considered monster or whatever back then. But yeah, I'm gonna put him in D. Let me know what you think about him, guys, or how good he was. Reggie Miller, great contest shot maker, the best three-point shooter by his era, like before Ray Allen. Just crazy clutch player, great franchise player, so close to winning NBA ring like once or twice. So I think he's top of B or A. Top of B. Because, so what's different between Ray Allen and him is that Ray Allen, most of his career, had to be the role player. You know what I mean? Like, he could have done more. Instead, Supersonics, he was a great scorer and maybe even first option. But, like, in Boston, because it was packed and, like, stacked, he had to be, like, third option coming off the screens mainly. But he was like so fucking efficient, you know what I mean? And one of the best 3 point, like single 3 point shots ever, making finals go in game 7 in 2013. Probably one of the best role players ever, if not the best. And that's why I put him over D Wade. But Reggie Miller was more than that. He was almost as good shot maker as Ray Allen. But he was more, he could create himself and he just played in tougher times. So I'm gonna put him A. I don't know if it makes sense, but for me it does for now. Next is George Gervin, another NBA legend. He played in 70s and 80s, so I should know about him, but I don't. Obviously, I've heard his name, but I just don't know much about him. Crazy stat lines, like averaging more than 30 points twice, though never becoming MVP, but he was second in MVP vote twice. Then also averaging solid 8 rebounds for couple of seasons. So well, averaging 30 points in that era, like multiple times, is great. 25 points per game throughout his 14 years career. So just San Antonio Spurs legend. He should be here. I'll put him top of C or low B. Where low B? I'll put him low B because MVP caliber player, but just never got to actually be an MVP. Clyde Drexler, another all-time great, pick higher than Michael Jordan on the year of their draft. Portland Trail Blazers and Houston Rockets legend. One-time NBA champ, one-time NBA Finals appearance. Besides that, losing against Michael, just great dunker, great scorer. Just I don't know if he's A tier. Is he A tier? Because you put him on the team like Portland, okay. Actually, yeah, probably he's A tier. I guess he is because yeah, I don't know a lot of guys besides him. I don't remember anybody from that Portland team right now, which is my problem, but no one to remember particularly. I think so. Low A for me. Debatable between him and Miller, but for me Miller was better. So Kobe, another easy S tier for me. Closest it ever got to Jordan. 5-time NBA champ, only one time MVP, but could have easily been more times, multiple times scoring champ. Just Mamba, you know. Rest in peace, brother, and we just love you. His mindset was just amazing. His hardworking mentality, just inspirational. You guys know his stories about like don't leaving gym for like court for a day or two, going there early as fuck. Like D Wade saying that I went there at like 8 a.m. he was there. I went there at 7 a.m. he was there, and so on and so on. So easiest hire. So next is Hal Greer, another Hall of Famer. Pretty good averages, like most of his career above 20 points. But I think another case for being here mostly thanks to being an early NBA legend. Yeah, I'll put him here. I don't even know how to choose between them. James Harden, another all-time great scorers. One of the most unstoppable at the ring. His step back, like signature step back shots. One of the most incredible MVP seasons of recent times, like scoring wise, obviously. Does he deserve to be A, guys? He's not an NBA champ yet. Again, he was close, as Chris Paul was. Most of his efficiency comes from field goal averages, you know? You put him on a team, that team changes so much. Yeah, probably he still goes an A thanks to that. If you put him on a team, he has more impact than these guys. And Dominic Wilkins, Atlanta Hawks legend, one of the most explosive dunkers and just scorers ever. Just for me, he's not on the same level as any of these guys because he was never an MVP, never made the NBA Finals, not as big of an impact on the game as even James Harden. So I'll put him in B and even low B. Put him here, even lower than, yeah, low B. I like his game style, I love his dunks, but yeah, overall, I think that's where he deserves to be. Do I like this list? Yeah, I think like James Harden might move up to here at some point in his career, but he has to achieve some stuff before that. I like this. Let me know what you guys think about my shooting guard star list.
So here I'll have a bit of a rework, which I did a few days later, because I guess I was in some kind of flow and I don't think this tiredness really aligns with my taste. So I'm gonna change some stuff. First of all, I'm gonna put Light Drexler and Reggie Miller towards the end, probably like this. Then I'll move Harden down in B, and I'm gonna put him just behind Maravich. Then I think I did the worst to D-Wade because he's super underrated, and so I just put him in B as some random person would. But I've seen his finals, like even when he was a second person, and again, like as I talked about 2006, right? It's one of the best finals and playoff runs ever, generally as a shooting guard. And also he had some other seasons like 2009, which he was crazy. Generally, he was a great shooting guard. So yeah, if I would say, I would actually put him over Clyde Drexler in best shooting guards of all time, you know. So fuck it, and then I'll put Ray Allen above just because of my personal preferences and giving him one of the best role players ever badge, if you know what I mean. So I'm gonna put him here, and yeah, this is how I would do this list if I don't think about any objectivity. So yeah, this is how I would do this tier list if I was being myself, actually, you know.
Next, we move to small forwards with 15 players. My favorite position. And yeah, let's get going. So first we have Rick Barry. So one of the best scorers ever, you know. Like if you don't know his average, your jaw might drop when you get to know it. Like averaging more than 30 points per season, multiple times averaging 35 or 37, once or twice. Just a hell of a scorer. The best players of his era, famous, unformed, like underhand free throw and not only free throw shot. The one-time NBA champ, I believe, in San Francisco or Golden State Warriors. I don't remember which one it was back then. But I'm gonna put him in B for now. But he might move up to A. All right, let's see. Actually, let's do like this and then let's see. So Giannis Antetokounmpo also A. Easy A, and I'm gonna put him above Rick Barry because of being amazing two-way player. NBA MVP, one-time NBA champ. Like if his game just had more moves, you know, if he was more diverse, if he could shoot three-pointers and stuff, that would be so much better. But still one of the most unstoppable players. Like you had to change your defense strategy to beat this guy, but he was being stopped like by some good teams. So I'll put him A actually, like low A for now, because I think Rick Barry was more like if you don't give Giannis good shooters, he got fucked. But yeah, Rick Barry was better scorer overall. Kawhi Leonard, so he should go top of A for me because one of the best two-way players ever. Better than Giannis for me for now. Okay, not an NBA MVP, but two times NBA Finals MVP, three-time NBA champ. When he we're considering his playoff version. Okay, I know in regular season he doesn't put up that high numbers and he doesn't get even close to being an MVP or whatever. But in playoffs, like every time he makes a point, like most of the years at least. So just easy high A for me. Then LBJ, I'm not gonna comment, just as Jordan, he's easiest higher, and as Kobe, one of the only players whose name gets mentioned in the conversation for the GOAT. Pretty reasonably, I would say. Like, I'm not saying it's reasonable to say he was bigger player than Michael Jordan, because that would be hard. Like, knowing how much Michael Jordan popularized basketball, just sports in general, like across the ocean or just on the streets and everything, or how iconic he was. and still is. But yeah, LeBron James has done so much for the basketball too. If not Michael Jordan, he would be the one to popularize it so much. Maybe Kobe in between, So yeah, easiest hire. Dr. J, Julius Irving. So he was one of my favorite players, small forwards ever, which sadly I don't know so much about. I'm gonna put him here because, like, if you take overall career, regular season, he probably goes here. Just that I like playoff version of Kawhi more than Dr. J. But yeah, one of the most iconic dunkers, one of the most iconic reverse layups ever, 2 or 3 time NBA champ, probably MVP once or twice as well. Really good scorer. I'll leave him there. Let's see later. Elgin Baylor. Guys, just check his stats. Averaging almost 40 points and almost 20 rebounds in a single season, not getting MVP award. Doing that multiple times, by the way. Not like 40ish, 20ish necessarily, but averaging 35, 15 multiple times. So, amazing Lakers legend. In his era, probably most complete player in the league. So, easy A and high A, honestly. From what he was doing, he should go here. I think he deserves to be there. Next is Paul Harrison, if I'm not mistaken. Philadelphia Warriors legend. Pretty good averages, like 25 points per game for 3 or 4 seasons. Almost 10 rebounds basically throughout all his career. So like his career averages were 23 points, 8.6 rebounds, which is really good. But yeah, like first years of basketball. So is he here because he was that good? Honestly, from the stat lines and from the consistency he showed, he does deserve to be here. Okay, arguable. He can go D, he can go C, whatever you guys say. Carmelo Anthony. So, achievement, speaking wise, he shouldn't be here, but being a player he was, I'll put him in B because one of the best scorers ever and one of the best no dribble needed scorers. Scottie Pippen, the best defenders ever, even though it doesn't get so much spoken about because not so many achievements, but irreplaceable figure of Chicago Bulls, amazing legend, amazing dunker, pretty good scorer, pretty good, definitely nowhere close to being the best shooter on the team, but top of B, still a role player, than franchise player. Like every one of these guys you put, they are franchise players. Even Melo could be franchise player, but let's say Pippen is better than Melo because of being way better two-way player, right? So next comes John Havlicek, Boston Celtics legend, one of the best shooters of his time, multiple time NBA champ, really good scorer, averaging 25 plus points per game for multiple seasons, 5-6 assists per game, and just a really good shooter, mid-range to 3-pointers. So also B works for me. I don't know where in B though. Like career wise he had better career than Melo and probably he stayed more consistent. So yeah, better than Melo. Larry Bird, one of the quiet goats, I might say. I'll put him in S because of super subjective reasons, but first of all, he could have been the best contest shot maker ever. Like he could have been, not necessarily. He was best shooter before Reggie Miller. He was last 3-time consecutive MVP winner. He was arguably the best trash talker ever, like effectively. Like he really could get on your nerves, He would say, I'm gonna score a 3 on you from 45. No, he would do that. He'd be like, Dennis Rodman is one of the best defenders. He's guarding him, and he's like, give me the ball before I'm alone, before I'm open. Like, give me the ball. And then he would go left-handed and score 45 points left-handed in a single game and stuff like that. And multiple-time NBA champ, created the era. So for me, he's S, and he deserves to be KD. So if he was the player which GSW, which he won 2 NBA finals, was built around, then he would have gone to S. But there was Steph Curry. He deservedly got S higher. So KD goes in A for me because he still has to achieve like having his franchise which wins the championship. Yeah, like 2-time finals MVP, so he's really good, one of the best scorers ever, easily. So I'm put him here. Super subjective. For a lot of you guys he's probably S, for most of you he's probably top of A, top 5 NBA scorers ever, but I'd rather pick Kawhi over him as a franchise player, like personally again, alright? James Worthy, so amazing role player, 1-time NBA Finals MVP, 3 or 4-time NBA champ, iconic glasses, just really good role player, but probably goes low B. I'm gonna put Paul Pierce even lower because, And he would have gone to S if not a story about him getting stabbed in his neck 9 times, pro league, pro scene like 4 months later or so, and playing amazing. Two-time NBA champ. First option on the Boston's team, so he should be there in so-called truth. So deserves to be on this list, but he's either low B or C. I'll put him in B just for respect. Next is Billy Cunningham, the last small forward we'll have. For me, another early era legend. Not first years of NBA, but like, I had never heard of this guy before, and now that I'm checking, okay, he became MVP once. Pretty good averages, like averaging 25-ish points per game for like 5 seasons or so, while averaging 10 plus rebounds. So like solid double-double for 6 consecutive seasons. Oh, father, he deserves to be here or even B. That's crazy stats line, and also averaging like 6, 7 assists during those solid double years. So still an MVP, you know. How can MVP go lower than B, right? So it's funny how he got from D to C, and then he gets better than Paul Pierce and James Worthy all of a sudden. But just my bad, I didn't know that much about him. Yeah, I'll put him here. So yeah, this is my small forward tier list. Now let's move to the power forwards list. And probably most underrated positions in NBA. But yeah, let's get going. First we have Shays. So we are starting with the person who I know the least about from this list. So he's easily tire case for me. First years of NBA, pretty good stat lines still. No, really good stat lines. Like he averaged solid double double, like at least 14 points, 12 rebounds for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 consecutive years, and his highest averages being 25 points per game and 16.4 rebounds. I take my words back. He's either low B or solid C. Yeah, I wish I just knew more about these kind of guys, you know. I'm gonna put him in C for now. Let's see where we go. Tim Duncan, easiest hire, 5-time NBA champ, I think 2-time NBA MVP. Arguably the best power forward to ever have touched the ball. So humble, huge part of Twin Towers, just created an era, created a franchise. So just easiest hire, not that much to talk about. And he had that crazy impact on the game on both ends without being able to score 3-pointer or a really long mid-range shots. So just crazy respect for this guy. Next we have Dave DeBuscher, Detroit Pistons legend. Pretty early years, like 60s, early 70s. Pretty solid double-double throughout basically all of his career. Nothing worth mentioning besides that he career averages are 16 points per game and 11 rebounds, which is good, but could have been better player on the list. You know, Alonzo Mourning, for example, he's not on this list. Okay, he's not a power forward, but he's not on the list. Yeah, I'm gonna put him in D. KG. So again, some people consider him the best power forward of all time. I don't, but I'll put him in S because he's only one of only 4 players to be in first defensive team of NBA 9 times, along Mike Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and Gary Payton. So one of the best defenders ever, one of the greatest two-way players. Just his last couple of seasons were matching his career and not necessarily his tire, but his overall career is tire, I think. 1-time NBA MVP, 2-time NBA champ, deserves to be S. Karl Malone, so between S and A, I'll put him in A because of not being the first option in clutch positions and being a turnover king before LeBron James. As a power forward, that's hard, you know, because you are not making as many assists as LeBron James did or John Stockton did. You're not the passer. You're not Nikola Jokic. You're more of a scorer. So that's bad having so many turnovers. But still, third time greatest scorer ever. Still an amazing player. So fucking strong. Great franchise. 2-time MVP, I believe. So close to winning a ring. So solid A. Charles Barkley, 1-time MVP, 1 or 2-time NBA finalist. I don't know if I should put him high B or low A because he had great career averages as well, like averaging 25 plus, 12 plus for a couple of seasons. So either low A or high B. I'm gonna put him high B. Dirk Nowitzki, so one of the best scorers ever. Is Karl Malone. Probably should go next to him. On the most unstoppable moves, his one-legged fade away. First European to play basketball at such a high level. Like he got into top 5 NBA scorers of all time, so that's crazy achievement. One time NBA champ, I think one time NBA MVP, finals MVP. He stayed with his franchise like Melon. I'm not gonna put him above Melon because I think Melon was more tough and he played in tougher era and he was closer. Like he won MVP twice and he was against better players generally. But we have to give Nowitzki his flowers as well, you know. Elvin Hayes, so Washington Bullets legend, well, multiple seasons over 25 points and 15 rebounds, and with the best season, like highest averages being 28 points and 18 rebounds. But in his rookie year, he averaged 28 points and 17 rebounds, so that's crazy. That lines hell of a career. So like he goes as solid as Charles Barkley, I would say. He just was never an MVP and that's it. But anyhow, you know. Next we have Bob Petit. So somehow before checking out this list I always thought he was a shooting guard or something, but well, he's power forward and hell of a power forward. Throughout his 11 years of game he averaged 26 points and 16 rebounds. That's crazy. The highest averages being 31 points was his highest and 20 rebounds. And he had a season with 28 points and 21 rebounds. So fucking huge double double. And he was two-time MVP, so many times close to becoming MVP. And solid day. Okay, like early years of NBA, so we don't know what he would have done in different eras, but such a huge impact on the game. Dennis Rodman, you don't need to check his stat lines, you just need to know he could have gone 0 points, 50 rebounds in a single game. One of the best rebounders, one of the best defenders, 5 or 6 time NBA champ. First with Detroit Bad Boys, then with Chicago. So one of the best role players ever. I'll put him higher than Barkley because as a role player he was just unbelievable. Kevin McHale, another one of the best power forwards of all time. Great franchise player, multiple time NBA champ. He also deserves someone B. I'm gonna put him low B. I like Rodman better than him. Barkley was better player, and Elvin Hayes just crazy seasons. So yeah, low B. And then as for the last power forward on the list, we have Jerry Lucas, who was Cincinnati and San Francisco Warriors NBA legend. His career averages are 17 points and 15 rebounds, with averaging 20-20 two consecutive years, so that's crazy, and averaging 15 plus points, 15 plus rebounds for 6 consecutive years, so that's crazy numbers, but never MVP. I don't think he ever won the finals. So solid B, even though it's low B. No, I'm gonna put him higher because averaging 20-20 for 2 years in a row, it's crazy, and that's why I put Elvin Hayes here, right? So I'm gonna put him over Elvin Hayes. As for last position, we have centers, and in my opinion, it's a position with the best overall players ever. 17 just many as point guards, and let's go. Dave Cowens. I don't know much about him. I just know that he was a Boston legend in 70s, and he had pretty good career averages, like 17.6 points and 13.6 rebounds per game. His highest being 20.5 points and 16.2 rebounds in the same season, by the way, which he became MVP. So we don't put MVPs below B, and I don't think he'll go higher either. Patrick Ewing, so New York Knicks legend, tough era, almost won in 1999, great franchise player, but he never became MVP, he never won finals. You know, you gotta do something more to go A than what he did. AD, I don't think he deserves to be on this list. Replace him with Nikola Jokic, and we are talking, you know. Next is Bill Walton on the NBA grades, averaging 13 points and 10 rebounds throughout his career, but he got an MVP award once, where he was averaging 19 points, 13 rebounds, and 2.5 blocks. So one of the great shot blockers, definitely of all time. A really good overall player, just like his MVP season wouldn't go as high as Carmelo's MVP season, for example, but still an MVP, can't go lower than B. Next we have Shaq. So this is gonna be controversial, but I don't put him higher than A because people who all put in S have way higher skills than way better skills than him. Although Shaq might have been way more dominant than them, you know. It's just that there is something between, like, okay, you become MVP, you win three peats, and so on and so on. But then he didn't win any championships without Kobe or Wade, like caliber player, you know? Okay, he went to NBA Finals with the Magic in '95, I think, but they got swept. Yeah, again, another like super great scorer, top 10 greatest scorer of NBA history, but I don't think he goes higher. While David Robinson could make a case for S, and I actually have to think if I put him in high A or low S, because I think he was like full package player. He was great offensive player, he was amazing defender player, one of the best shot blockers of all time, one of the only players who could somewhere close to saying lock down Mike Jordan. Like, he could score 70 points, then he could have like quadruple double with blocks. He was the last player to do that, by the way. So for me, he deserves to be S, and he created the franchise as well. Next we have Willis Reed, so probably the best New York Knicks legend ever. He didn't have crazy career averages, like his highest points per game season was 22, and he became MVP that year, while he was rebounding 14 balls per game. He goes either high B or low A. But because of a story where he was injured in the finals, where they became champ, like he was injured and he still got on the floor to score first 2 points of his team, to give huge moment to his team. Like, that's something inspirational, so I'll give him a for that, just for that, okay? But otherwise, I think he's somewhere here. Next one on the list is George Mikan, another NBA legend. From early years, he only played 7 years, but his career averages were 23 points and 13 rebounds, and that's crazy. But I'll give him C, no, because he played only 7 years. If he played more and if he was so consistent, he could have gone higher. So I think he deserves to be on this list. It's just that I don't know so much about him, and he had a really short career. So, and I don't know why he had such a short career, but C for now. Then we have Bob McAdoo, played for many different teams. Great career averages, like averaged more than 30 points per game for 3 consecutive years, while averaging 12, 14, 15 rebounds per game. So that's great. Became MVP once. He ran second 2 out of those 3 years. He was Rookie of the Year. So that's something great. I'm not sure if he ever won a championship ring though. But yeah, great overall career. So I put him in top of B because MVP caliber player, great averages, 30 plus points. I think he deserves to be there. Oh, next we have Bill Russell. Easy top of S for me for now, from the players we've ranked, because 11 times NBA champ from 13 seasons, 12 finals, just a great team player. Will Chamberlain learned how to be a team player from him, and until he did, he cannot beat him. Just an amazing all-around player, like pretty good offensive player, pretty good, like really good passer for his era centers. Then an amazing defender, like he created a different art of defense where he wasn't necessarily aiming for blocking the shot, he was aiming to make it as contested as possible, so it was harder for you to score. And he did that great. He is probably second on all-time rebounding list after Will Chamberlain. He would have been first or second in all-time blocks per game if they had been counting it back then. So easiest hire for me, just ultimate winner. Next we have Wes Unseld. He just here mostly because of his rookie year stat line for being rookie of the year and MVP in the same year, I would suppose, averaging 14 points and 18 rebounds per game, which is crazy for a rookie year. And then his career went pretty much downwards. Like, he had 5 really solid years, averaging 12 to 16 points and over 15 rebounds per game, so that's really solid. But yeah, besides that, like, his total career averages dropped down to 10 points and 14 rebounds. Like, he was MVP, but like, he didn't stay consistent. So I guess the only case when MVP drops down to C. He should be on this list still because great achievement, and having 15 plus rebounds per game for 5 consecutive seasons, amazing. But yeah, that's as high as it goes. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, another easy S, obviously. Best scorer before LeBron James. Most unstoppable single move probably ever. Skyhook. Yeah, just longevity, consistency, multiple times NBA champ, 6 times MVP, multiple times NBA Finals MVP. Yeah, one day he can be higher than Bill Russell, but I'll put him Bill Russell over him because I just like so. Bill Russell was also, I think, 5-time NBA MVP, almost as much as Kareem. He was 11 times NBA champ, probably 6 times NBA Finals MVP or something like that. And then Bill Russell's and Will Chamberlain's careers were shorter than most of other people. I think both of them played 13 years, and Will was just craziest dominance ever, like averaging 50 points, 25 rebounds in a single season, scoring 100 points, having 55 rebounds or whatever, having records for most 50 points, 60 points, 70 points games, just pure dominance. He was pretty stylish, like he had some unique skills. He was really skilled, and he also learned how to be a good passer. Like he was the leader in triple doubles by centers before Nikola Jokic. It's a long fucking time until Nikola Jokic, since Will Chamberlain's play era. An amazing achievement. So he became a great passer, maybe averaging somewhere close to triple double. He had first double triple doubles ever. If blocks were counted, I'm sure he would have had multiple quadruple doubles and so on. So probably the most dominant player ever to touch the ball. And he also was high level volleyball player. He was professional in long jumping, like Olympic long jumping, and he also challenged Muhammad Ali on the ring, but that didn't happen, like their fight. Next comes Moses Malone, one of the best offensive rebounders in history, maybe even best. Just one of the best centers, great scorer, great rebounder, multiple times NBA MVP with Julius Erving, 2 or 3 time NBA MVP. So solid A, and yeah, just like this. Maybe I could even make a point if I put him over Shaq, but I'm not gonna, like, that would be bullying for Shaq's weight if I do that. Robert Parrish, longevity. If we talk about it, here we go. Like, I think most games in NBA history before LeBron James, like after LeBron James, basically. One of the most wins in history as well. Just an amazing role player. I don't know his stat lines, but I know how much of an impact he had in Boston team. So somewhere on Kevin McHale level. And I think I'm gonna put him over Bill Walton, and that's where he stands. So Nate Thurmond, another great player which sadly I didn't know about. San Francisco Warriors and Golden State Warriors legend. I think one-time NBA champ, multiple-time MVP contender, but never made it. And also crazy stat lines, having 20 points, 20 rebounds once, but being super close to that 3 consecutive years. And just in overall career averages were 15 points, 15 rebounds, which got dropped in his last 5 years. He had terrible stat line, like under 10, both of these stats, but before that he was a great power. I'm gonna put him top of C. In his peak years he definitely goes somewhere here, but overall career I'm gonna put him top of C for now, and I don't think I'm gonna change that. And then we have Hakeem Olajuwon. Just for me, he's honestly most skilled center to ever touch the ball. One of the players Mike Jordan kind of feared. I think he said it himself. He had negative balance against him. It would be an interesting final. I wish we had got to see that. But yeah, one of the best skills ever, like Dream Shake. For me, single best signature move ever, like by a center. He has the record for most blocks total in NBA history. Okay, thanks to not counting back in Worlds and Bill Russell's era, but still probably highest averages as well, like 4 blocks or 3 point something over his career. And he was just great athlete and great player and great scorer. Still top 15 or 20 scorer ever, 2 time NBA champ, like one of only 3 players to have won MVP, Finals MVP, and Defensive Player of the Year. So just a crazy player.
If you had to take away only one thing from this video, I would recommend checking out Larry Bird's crazy highlights, like mainly this game when he scored the triple double with his left hand. But he has multiple crazy games like that when he was flexing or trash talking or trash playing or whatever. So yeah, just check this guy. He was incredible for those of you who don't know.
So this is how my list looks like, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know about your opinions down below, and yeah, also let me know, guys, what I can make tier lists of around basketball. I plan to make some other tier lists as well, like about movies, TV shows, maybe animes, maybe books, maybe music albums and stuff. But yeah, let me know if you have any suggestions around basketball. And next time I might not be alone. So thank you guys. Hope you all enjoyed, and just wish you all the best.